it's basically the same color design in different teams. So it's really hard to be like, all right, I'm going to pick this over the other and that over the other. And I mean, for some of them I can, but these ones were like really close where it's like, you know what? I just can't pick. So I'm going to kind of do like a tie kind of thing. So for next number, again, I don't know what number I'm on. Who cares? Are these navy and mint UVs that the toppers did in Nationals and Orioles, and the side patch having the mint coloring to it, the front logo being white, sweatband being white as well. Actually, it's kind of like, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit different shade of this mint kind of seafoam color. Kind of like it better on the Orioles hat. But it's a really good color that was done. The first one I got was the Nationals one. Or, I don't know. But either way, these were really good hats that I liked. Always loved navy. The mint color underneath is really nice. Kind of a, I guess, underrated color for 2022. For me, especially. I mean, there was some other mint hats before that you saw, and a few more I see over there on the thing down there, the extra pile. All right, for this one, it is, I think, just Caps 5 for New Era that they did. This was one of the best collections, I think, of the year. Powder blue top, team color, brim and button, white flag, green UV. It was perfect. It was a perfect hat, and I really regret not going back for more. So these were really good hats. I'm pretty sure that, oh, actually, it's weird that these 7.5s don't really fit as well as the other 7.5 that I've been getting from New Era themselves. Or maybe I just don't remember that I stretched these out. Either way, these are really good hats. I think it's a little bit better with the Cubs because it's a natural color for the Cubs. But a little bit different with the Oriole, so that makes it cooler. So speaking of Orioles, blue and orange, there's another one here. This is from Sports World 165 in New York. That this was part of their Sunset collection, and they did like 2 iterations, and this is the second time. They had another one where I think it was like a different brim color. It was like a 2-tone, but it was a different side patch. Either way, this is a fun hat to have. I like the colors with the light blue. These like navy and light blue hats, these are kind of like my favorite colors of hats, along with like the other main color of 2022 that became the off-white, optic white, not white color, cream white, however you want to really define it. So just kind of a nice orange UV. I like the idea of the sunset hook to it that wasn't, specifically towards any one, person or kind of like media thing or something else that was like, tangible in a way. It was about nature. So I like that aspect about it. So I had a bit of a frenzy, a bit of a shopping spree when 47 Brand had 47 Brand Day, which is 4/7, April 7th, just like 50 days, May 9th, 5/9. So for 47 Brand Day, they did a lot of good sales. They did a lot of good stuff. So New Era, yeah, that's a flag. Yeah, New Era should take notes on a brand store doing deals and discounts for an anniversary. Yeah, they did 47 Brand for 75th anniversary did it a whole lot better than New Era did for 100th anniversary, to be honest. I've said that before. Say it again. I'll say it in the future again. So April I got a bunch. They had like a bunch of different sections. Like every 2 hours, it was either 30% off of NBA hats or NHL hats or college hats or baseball hats, retro hats. So in a way, I got through the day, and I got, these were two of my favorites. These NHL retro ones, Minnesota North Stars and the Anaheim Ducks. Now, for this one, there was two of them. It was either the teal crown, purple brim, or reverse color. So I will get the other one eventually, but this one just kind of stuck out to me first. But love the green too with the North Stars, and yeah, it's just, you know, these are just standard basic hats, but you gotta have them, especially for a, you know, big hockey fan. So that's why I wanted to get those, and you know, green is my favorite color, so I want more green in the collection. I think that's one of the colors that it needs to be really worked on. So, like I said before, mint was kind of like a underlying color of 2022 that I mentioned the other hat in this collection earlier, but this one, when I saw it, I knew I had to have this specific one because it was a team that I already had a hat of, but that they finally did it in a 50-50 fitted. Had to get the New York Liberty. Had to get the OG. And this was a fantastic hat done in this mint, New York Liberty, Statue of Liberty mint, black crown, pink UV, WNBA logo on the back, and then the inaugural WNBA All-Star Game side patch, which, again, them doing the side patches was fantastic. I still got to keep stretching it out to, you know, make it fit better, more comfortably. But this was, again, this is when it's getting like really hard to say, you know, these are the top hats, you know, above this or above that. So like even like I could flip the colors or the numbers with this Orioles hat from Eblin's here. They're really close. This one is the Oreo from the their dual cookie pack. They had a California Angels for Chips Ahoy. Fantastic color too. Didn't get it. Wish I did. They had chances for redrops, or maybe I should check again on Eblin's. So, but this one was like a huge hat in the first half of 2022. Blue UV, blue to match in the Orioles logo. I love that they listened, or that they just read my mind, that they had a color flag for the New Era side that wasn't like a tonal flag, where like an orange flag on this would have been cool. So this was just perfect. Yeah, this one got quite a bit of use out of the rotation work. And I did magically change my shirt, by the way. So next up, there's Crime Minded was a place that I was always looking at, kind of like a dark horse place for me, that maybe there wasn't something every week or every other week, but they would have a good hit every so often that it's like, I gotta have it. And this one was my first peach UV, among others, this year. This Braves Navy, all Navy, 95 World Series side patch. Love that part. I'm not really a big fan because other than like World Series and All-Star Game side patches, I'm not always the biggest fan of anniversary side patches on hats because, okay, now 25 makes sense, but on hats that I've seen before, like the Braves earlier that I had was the fall pack, the 30th anniversary in Atlanta. This is not we're not celebrating like a wedding anniversary. It just doesn't feel right to celebrate anything other than 10, 25, 50, 75, 100. So, I love that they did the World Series side patch, also the year I was born, in 95, peach front logo, UV. This was just a clean hat. for the year. For this next one, I got it kind of later in the year, because that's when, the hat came out. Now, it's a really good hat. I think it was a little bit higher in my top list earlier, kind of like, more like towards top 10. But because it's really meant for like the fall and winter, really, um, I wouldn't be able to really wear it all year round. I mean, I could wear this Tennessee Smokies hat. I mean, it looks good, but with the flannel UV, it's kind of like, I'm not going to be wearing this to a Cubs game or to a Smokies game, in the summertime. Just doesn't exactly feel right. It's a great hat. I can't really stop wearing it. I just, because of, the timing of the year that it's going to be worn, and it knock it down a little bit. But again, this is kind of tough to really individually rank these hats and like actually give them a ranking. So, including this one Cubs hat, this Ocean Drive. Yeah, Ocean Drive or Oceanside, whichever. The Hat Club did it first. With the naming. This one, I really had wanted. Oh, that's where one of my clips, Hat Pal clips, went. Cool. This is a great summer hat. This OffWhite. I don't know if, I guess beige-ish, light beige, OffWhite, optic white. I don't know what whites are anymore. Kind of like a unsaturated or less saturated blue, peach UV. So the hats sometimes had like a mint kind of accent to it. I really wish I had gotten more, but they saw this was like one of the big hat club drops of the year, and yeah, this would have been a good one to get more of. I tried to get one of an Orioles hat, but I got duped. The reseller sent me the wrong hat, which was bullshit. So yeah, so this was a really good one for the year. Now this one is a really good one. This is from Wrigleyville Sports, Chicago Cubs. Kind of a similar, it's also called Stone, I guess, was the other name for it. The Stone color. This one, love that it's the New Era flag in navy. Navy brim, blue UV, kind of like a Columbia UV, 1990 Ultra Game side patch, and it's a snapback. I was at a Cubs game. I'm pretty sure it was with in the summertime. With my friend Sean that went to a Cubs game, and I think it was Father's Day weekend, and I went to go get the the Lids Notre Dame color hat for the Cubs, but their store, they had incompetent employees, typical. And I went to Wrigleyville Sports and said, I'm like, I need a hat for the day, and saw this, grabbed it so fast. They do have a fitted one of this, but I figured I already have this hat, and it's nice that it's a snapback. I mean, could I get the fitted? Sure, I guess, but kind of defeats the purpose of already having the same hat then. What would I do with this? I'm not always a snapback person for baseball hats, but it has to be a good reason to make an exception. Like that one Cubs mocha from Cap King USA. That was a good reason to go around the exception, to make an exception for it. So this next one is a really good one. It kind of still follows this like off-white cream color. Yeah, off-white hat color, two-tone. The crown is off-white, and then the brim is of the team color or any other color. And it's a 47 brand hat, which I think it makes it much cooler. This is for the Seattle Kraken. This is a really cool hat. I mean, great colors for sure. And they did a lot of other teams like this for retro hats or retro logos that I have found on Amazon lately, and I was gifted an Amazon gift card. So yeah, so Linda's gonna help me get these extra off-white two-tone hats here. So it's a good thing. Good thing I got sent an Amazon gift card instead of a Lids gift card, because the Amazon is where I found the jackpot of all these other ones, because they had other like Chicago Blackhawks, they had the Devils, they had the Whalers, they had the Jets. I mean, they had other teams. Some of them I want to get, some of them are like, meh, don't really need it. But for sure, Kraken won. I feel like I should steam this out. There's a lot of wrinkles to this hat. I mean, even for like a dad hat, for 47 brand hat. But yeah, I also want to find the Golden Knights in this. These were on the 47 brand website, but I didn't get them at the time. I don't know why. I have a horrible mind when buying hats that I should get them the one time, but I don't. It's whatever. So a place that was kind of under my radar that is getting a whole lot more traction, I think, lately, is a place called Hat Dreams out in DC. And I got this fantastic Washington Nationals pine color with the blue UV. This people you could say it's like the frozen tundra like color from the from Hat Club. I call it the iceberg lettuce pack. So this is like a different version or different rendition of it. I like the All-Star Game side patch the most, 2018 for the Nationals. It just got the capital in it. I think it's one of their better side patches, just a better shape that it uses. These are my two favorite colors. Two of my three favorite colors, I guess. I mean, there's green and then blue, but then under that there's navy and Columbia blue, and then green. There's also a really good green color too. So this was a really good hat. And this is when it gets really hard to be like number, higher, and you're trying to like actually give a ranking to. So next here, from Toppers, unintentionally a crossover between Minnesota Twins and University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, because it's this maroon with this like gold M and kind of like a cork color, not a material, but cork color-ish UV. 2014 All-Star Game side patch. I think this is their best side patch. A lot of All-Star Game side patches are sometimes the best ones for teams. A little bit more focused on them, a little bit more creativity than kind of like a generic World Series logo, but sometimes World Series logos are better for teams. So this one was a huge one. It's more like a fall hat for sure, especially with like these thicker sweatband on the inside. But this one was just a really good hat for the year. I mean, I could wear it any other time of year, really, because it's polyester, it's not wool. But the color just feels like especially the sweatband too, just feels like a, heavier hat. So next one came from Clark Street Sports, that they had a really good year. I have another top 10 hat of theirs coming up, and that was a really good hat that I'm going to be talking about soon. But they had a lot of other good hats that I wanted, I missed out on, that I did get, and this is one of them kind of early on in the year. I think it was like February or March, that I did say that it was like a top 5 hat for the year, and other hats did come out, but I mean, still, out of the 140, I think, hats that I've gotten, it still remains, top 15 material right now. So they had an infield and outfield for the City Connect hats. I don't remember if this was the in or the outfield, but this one was kind of like the regular City Connect, where it's like the navy and then the light blue on the brim. This uses the the sleeve logo for the main logo, and you'll see this logo again. The Y in the middle here is Wolf's Point, where the Chicago and Illinois River meet, converge. And the cool part about this hat is green UV, kind of like a darker green UV, not like a light green, kind of like not like a Kelly green. It's like darker. I think this is kind of like UV color should be done more. I think it's a lot cooler to do. So there's another one coming up later, but you'll have to see where that comes up in the other actual top 10 video. So this one came from Sports World 165 out in New York, that sunset idea, but this one is for the Cubs, and this Cubs logo has been used quite often, and I think this is the last time I have this logo used in the rest of the top hats here. This is not a long-standing logo. This was only used for like 2-3 seasons, from 94 to 96. And I don't really grasp the full, but it has my favorite side patch of the Cubs, which is the Wrigley Field 100th anniversary side patch. Orange UV. Kind of comparing it to the other Orioles one. Pretty similar orange, I think. If I stare at them too long, like that, those navy ones before with the mint, they're like different mint colors. But, whatever. Really good one. So this is hat number 11, so I can actually like say, at this point where I'm at with the top hats. So this, and then I'll do a actual top 10 video next. So this one came from Lids, and this was like a really close one to being in the top 10. Maybe it could share the other place, but I think because it also was a common theme for a whole hat release, maybe just didn't feel as special with this pinstripe. Now, this was really well done. I know that Toppers also did it. I wish I could have gotten that one. But this was a really good one. And it's hard to, maybe keep it out of the top 10. Maybe I'll give it like an honorary top 10 spot, tied with the other hat. But the other one is like a little bit more exclusive for Chicago, where this one is like a whole like pinstripe collection for all the teams, and Lids did. So again, lose a little bit of exclusivity, even though pinstripes are a Cubs staple in uniforms. And there's a lot of teams out there, and there's a lot of debate of that only the Yankees should have pinstripes on their uniforms. Like, all right, well, stop it. No, don't give me that. Cubby blue pinstripes are perfect as well. Other than those two teams, maybe the White Sox, I guess, kind of being an older team, I would give a pass as. Rockies just don't seem like a pinstripe team, really. So there are a little bit more pinstripe teams out there than there should be. But Cubs, for sure. Toppers did something similar, but they had a green UV, which I think was a little bit better of an idea than a gray. Even though gray isn't my favorite UV color, this is kind of seems just a little retro-ish. So the green would have, I think, worked out a bit better. Should have gotten that Toppers one, but that was also when Toppers shut off, or was forced out of shipping to international places like North America. So maybe I'll find it somewhere else. eBay. So that's the top 40-ish some hats, and then we'll get to the top 10 hats next. So I'm going to clear off the hats here, and then the top 10 hats will be next. So I will see you then. Do a quick recess break.